Hello. So, backup account fucking content, here we come. I'm gonna be talking some more shit about Dustin Nunn. Because, fuck this guy. So, here's his 11 facts why the LGBTQ plus community are so stupid. So stupid. Alright, Wabu, what have you got for us?
I have 11 facts
No, you don't. I'm sorry, we're what, 4 seconds in, and he's already lied.
of why the LGBTQ plus alphabet soup ABCDXY.
Oh my god, these jokes. Dude, like, you are a visionary. These fucking LGBT jokes are so fucking original. I've not heard them. Like, I don't know, I'm split between I've never heard these before, and holy shit, I've heard these every time someone's brought this fucking group of people up in the past 10 years. Like, seriously, just... Whatever, you're a fucking waste of space.
Z community are so stupid.
So stupid. I mean, they can't be any more stupid than you, Dusty Buns, but we'll see.
11 facts why.
You're 15 seconds in and you've had to establish the same thing 3 times. Move. Quick. You've got 1 minute and 51 seconds and you wasted 15 seconds.
Because they cannot make up their minds.
What, you mean like you can't? You started that sentence like 3 you began that you began that sentence 3 times and fucked it up and then decided, oh, you couldn't make up their mind. Right, okay. Here's the thing. Hold on a second, let me just hear him out.
What they want to be called.
Okay, yeah, I knew that was coming. Here's the thing. It's not that they can't make up their mind what they want to be called, it's just that the parameters keep changing. So, originally, there was a parameter of 4 letters, but then there was a 5th letter added, and then they just basically said, oh, well, more people are going to end up joining this fucking long list, so we might as well add the plus. Now, I've said personally that I think it's stupid that they have LGBTQ plus. Personally, I think the plus should just come after LGBT, because LGBT covers all the sexualities as far as I'm concerned, and most of the others are really just variants on LGBT. Personally, I think queer or questioning is just, but whatever. I don't see the point in having plus and then adding more letters on the end is what I'm saying. And that's probably like the closest thing to an argument that you'll hear in this video, because Dustin doesn't have one. But no, it's not that they can't make up their mind, it's that, things keep changing, and as a result, they keep changing, and we keep changing. You wouldn't understand because you've not changed since you were 12.
They are a disgrace to the human race because...
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there. You talk about a disgrace to the human race. You're 30 fucking years old. You sponge off your parents and use them as an excuse as to why you don't have a job. You had a comic book that was so shit that your publisher stealing the rights to it from you was probably the best thing that could happen to you because it gave you an excuse. Personally, I don't think that is why the comic book failed. I don't think you can be asked making anymore, and even if you could be asked, you don't have the creativity to come up with new characters or a new plot. You're an embarrassment, Dustin, you actually are. You keep coming up with the 11 facts why videos and stupid shit like that, and you've never made a video longer than like 2 or 3 minutes. Well, okay, there's probably a few that are over that, but most of them that are over that don't have much more content in them. They just have the same points reiterated, or some other stupid bullshit. You're an idiot. And you literally are an absolute disgrace, if not to humanity, to people also on the autism spectrum at the very least. You're a case study for anyone who wants to talk shit about the autism spectrum. And you're talking about disgraces.
God did not create the LGBTQ plus community.
I mean, he would have had to, given that he made humans, and he made humans in their image.
Satan created the LGBTQ plus community.
So, here's a bit that I find difficult. Satan can create life. He can create millions of people. Does that make him as powerful as God? Because I thought the whole point as to why we shouldn't be too worried is that Satan isn't as powerful as God. But the thing is, if Satan can create millions upon millions of people, why do we need God? You're an idiot, Dustin. You don't fucking understand anything to do with your religion. I'm a fucking atheist and I understand your religion better than you do. Because you're a fucking dunce.
The LGBTQ plus community are pedophiles.
Right. Okay. For a start, that is a fucking shit thing to say. Because A, you've got nothing to cite it. You haven't got a single fucking source. B, you're adding to stigmatization that is just completely fucking unwarranted. Because the vast majority of kids that get nonced on are fucking little girls getting nonced on by older men. And sometimes little boys being nonced on by older men. But the vast majority of them are little girls being nonced on by older men. So you're talking fucking shit, Dustin, as usual. But here's the real kicker, right? If you scroll down to the comments after he sucks himself off, we've got Ronnie Vane, whose comment was hearted by Dustin. Ronnie Vane downloaded pictures of an 11-year-old girl in compromising positions. Ronnie Vane has also been adamantly supporting Andrew Velasco, Andrew K, better known as Jackson, and several other people, such as Lance and a few others, who are all paedophiles. Ronnie is arguably a paedophile himself, but Ronnie has supported paedophiles adamantly. He would die on a hill to protect paedophiles from the consequences of their actions, and you heart his comment. You like that he says stuff to you. Based facts, fucking... The word based was ruined for me before I even fucking saw it because of cunts like these. But the thing is, right, you have no problem with paedophilia. Don't lie, Dustin. Don't pretend that you are a man of morals or a man of decency or a man, at the very least, who hates paedophilia. You would happily have a paedophile paradise if it meant that every other one of your bigoted checklists got ticked. So don't give me that fucking shit about, oh, well, they're pedophiles. You wouldn't care. Also, bit of a low blow, but remind me, where were those scandals? You know, those big paedophile rings? Was it the church by any chance? I think it might have been. You're a fucking cunt.
They push their sexual orientations and preferences on children.
Okay, I'm not going to deny that there are some people in this sphere, in this fucking community, which do that. I've seen, like, weird bondage parades where kids are being exposed to them and stuff like that on Pink News, and Pink News celebrated that for some reason. But here's the thing. You don't, again, care about things being forced on children, because your fucking religion does that too. In fact, it does it way worse. Do you know why I'm not religious, Dustin? It's not because of the Pendulettes and the fucking Bill Nye the Science Guys of the universe. It's because of people like you. It's because when I was a kid and all I wanted to do was be a fucking kid, I used to get dragged into a church and told that I'm going to hell. Because, I don't know, I wanted the same bike as another kid in my class, and that counts as envy, so I'm a terrible person and I'm not good enough for God. A God whose answer to every single fucking thing is murder every baby in 1,000 miles. And I'm supposed to, prostrate myself before him and cry and beg for forgiveness because I had a cheeky wank one time? Fucking blow me, Justin. Blow me, Dustin. Just blow me. And another thing as well, right? You're on about a minority of people. The vast majority of gay people just let their kids be what they fucking turn out to be. Most gay people do not want to make their kids gay. In fact, a lot of gay parents and whatever else actually they're not. It's not that they don't want their kids to be gay or anything like that, but why would they want their kids to go through a world full of people like you, like they had to? In an ideal situation, you wouldn't wish that on their kid because it is the road that's harder to travel. Because people like you make it harder to travel. You're a dick. So, no, the idea that they all brainwash. No, there is a sect that brainwash. There are a few misguided, stupid people, and even just outright crazy people who insist that their kids have to be gay or something, and that they are obsessed with the kid's gender identity or sexuality. But the thing is, Dustin, that's not a unique problem within this community. It isn't a problem that the entire community faces. It's a problem that a small percentage of the community faces. Just like not every Christian forces their kid to be a hardcore religious nut job. That's just your parents. Alright then, let's see.
They brainwash children into thinking that it is okay to be LGBTQ+.
Which is absolutely nothing like when they are brainwashed by churches and by people who are heavily into their politics into having like a very restrictive, conservative fucking upbringing. I almost sound like Stetson saying that, but it is true. Like the idea that kids have opinions that differ from their parents gets them fucking hot, but it gets them put in hot water. And if they don't practice the same religion as their parents, they get put in hot water. And that these kids get sent to fucking Bible camps, and that when they come out as gay, they get sent to fucking rehabilitation camps and shit to try and make them straight, like you keep thinking is a good idea. So in short, just like the paedophilia thing, and just like all the other stuff you mentioned thus far, you do not care about it. You don't care about kids being brainwashed, you don't care about kids being nonced on, just so long as the people who you don't like suffer. Kids being nonced on and brainwashed by churches, that's fine. But if it was gay people doing that shit, oh no, that'd be the worst thing ever. Fucking dickhead.
And being LGBTQ+ is wrong.
According to you. You know what, right? You're the kind of fucking dick that hounded Alan Turing to suicide. And if Alan Turing had not achieved what he achieved during the Second World War with the Enigma code, you wouldn't exist, Dustin. You would have been drowned at birth by a Nazi SS officer. So, why don't you shut the fuck up? Because you don't have a fucking clue what you're on about. And the only thing you're capable of doing is just thinking about you and how it affects you, which it doesn't, but because two gay guys on the other side of the country are sat happily together with proper jobs, with family and kids, and you are sat on the other side of the country in your parents' bedroom staring into a webcam and crying because somebody called you a gimp on the internet, not having a real job, failing at everything he's ever tried, you resent those people. You're bitter and resentful towards people who are able to express themselves and find their true identity. You had your identity forced on you, and you never had the strength to escape it. From birth, you were told what you are and what you do. And that's why you hate people who are able to say, I always thought I was this, but one day I realised I wasn't, and it changed my life. That's what this is about. You're a failure and you begrudge people their success. And you would rather live in a fucking world that was dysfunctional, where everyone was miserable, than a world that just has that one thing that you don't particularly approve of, you don't particularly like. You are a disgrace, Dustin, and don't ever think otherwise.
They think that it is okay to put LGBTQ plus related characters in comic books, video games, movies, cartoons, and TV shows.
Which it is. Because, honestly, some of my favourite characters in anything, and I remember Gage saying how much he liked the gay guys from Borderlands. I actually love Omar Little from The Wire, who's based on a real person apparently. Omar Little from The Wire is awesome. He's like modern day Robin Hood. He goes around robbing drug dealers, and he happens to be gay. And he has a relationship with this dude, and then he has several relationships throughout the story. And also, he has a number of instances where his homosexuality is brought up by people who dislike him or like him, and there are even jokes made about his homosexuality, but it isn't his entire character. And honestly, I feel like he really does a good job of, like, showing that there are more people in the world than just what we immediately know. David from Schitt's Creek is another great character. Him and Patrick are an amazingly, like, adorable couple to watch. And I actually love their chemistry, and as characters, their relationship is great. And it feels very genuine. Victor Strand from The Walking Dead is another great character, who is a sort of neutral con man who has a sociopathic tendencies and is kind of crazy at times. And I really like his character as well, and he happens to be gay. And honestly, I prefer gay characters that are interesting to boring ass straight characters with relationships that are just completely phoned in and just complete nothingness in every aspect. I prefer some variety in what I watch, even if people live in a way that I don't agree with or just outright hate. Are you saying we can't have characters who don't adhere to your sensibilities? What about, like, villains and shit? I mean, Teabag from Prison Break. If I met him in real life, I'd punch him in the fucking throat because he's a disgusting child predator and murderer. But he is just a fascinating character. He's a bit like Ramsay Bolton. You just can't help but wonder what the fuck he's going to do next. He is actually an interesting character, and he is a well thought out character and a fun character. And honestly, if he was just a straight dude who just liked people like you do and whatever else, it'd be boring. If he was just a straight God-fearing man, it'd be boring. But instead, he's like he has all these weird sexual, like, things about him which add to his character, and it's not the whole basis of his character. But the thing is as well that you are saying is that, like, oh, you can't have these things in TV shows because it makes people gay, or it makes people think it's okay, so they do it. Yes, because I see characters like wolf men and things like that, and that makes me think I'm a fucking dog. You talk utter shit because you don't... Like, a lot of kids who see gay characters are not going to go out and say, oh wow, I like men now. They're not Ralph Wiggum. It doesn't quite work that way. Like, people know what they like. Nobody fakes it. Nobody can force it. It is just a thing that is wired into your head. And it really is stupid to me that you legitimately don't understand how any of it works, but feel the need to comment on it all the fucking time. I wouldn't mind if your points as well were legitimate criticisms. Or even if I disagree with them, if they were actual criticisms like, okay, gay guys wearing bondage gear walking through the streets during Pride Month, during the Pride Parade, where people can see them and kids might be exposed to them at a young age, okay, that's an argument. That is actually a legitimate concern which I can understand. But you literally are crying because two people on the other side of the fucking planet, for all you know, are doing something that you just wouldn't do yourself. And it's pathetic.
They think it is okay to adopt children.
In general? Or are you just talking about gay? Here's the thing, right? Would you rather... Actually, no, I know the answer to this. You would rather a child go through their entire life feeling abandoned, unloved, or unwanted in the foster system, in the dumping ground, as they call it in Tracy Beaker. You would prefer that to a kid being adopted as a baby and raised by two people of the same sex. See, that's another set of characters who I learned a lot from just being exposed to them as characters on TV. Carol and Susan from Friends had a kid and raised the kid, and the kid turns out okay. And I know it's a fictional thing, but that was actually one of my first major exposures to gay people in a TV show that wasn't just a caricature or some bullshit like that. And really, it kind of showed me as a very young kid that a kid being raised by two women isn't really that different from them being raised by a man and a woman. Now you can argue, yeah, there might be some things that two women might not be able to give them, minor things, that there might be some things that they just might not be exposed to that men are often exposed to. I don't know. There could be arguments on that. I don't know. But that's not what you're saying. You're saying, oh, these people shouldn't adopt because, again, I don't agree with them because my stupid religion tells me that I shouldn't think this way. And because my religion says so, you're not allowed to do anything. And it's like, Dustin, here's a fucking crazy thought that you may never have had in your entire life. But not everyone on the planet thinks the way you do and has your religion. To some people, to some of us, your religion is a load of bullshit. And I actually want to know how the fuck you would like it if Islam... You're always like this. How would you like it if somebody did this, 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 and this? How would you like it if Islam came along and forced you to live under Sharia law? How would you like it if you were no longer allowed to drink alcohol no matter what? How would you like it, even if you don't drink alcohol, you are banned from drinking alcohol, you are banned from wearing certain clothing, you are banned from shaving or whatever the religion dictates, you would be like, why the fuck am I doing this? All of this is bullshit, I don't practice this faith. But you seem to feel like it's okay to impose your religion on everyone else. You're an idiot. And honestly, most religious people know this, but you don't. But when it comes to adopting, again, this shows a lot. You do not care about the children in this situation. You only care about the parents not being able to adopt because of who they are attracted to. So all three members of this situation have to suffer because you, someone who has fuck all to do with it, just doesn't like it. You're a dick.
They think it's okay to have sex with the same sexes or both sexes.
Because it is. Because what the fuck difference does it make to the planet? Hey Dustin, right now, 2 guys are porking. Somewhere in the world, 2 guys are fucking, and they're going at it real hard. What are you going to do about it? And has your life changed knowing that? Because I don't think it has. Why the fuck do you care? If it's a matter of, oh, God doesn't like it, let God sort it out. Jesus said that. He said, don't fucking be this. Fucking just let God sort it out. You know there's a fucking judgment day at the end of your stupid story. So, why are you insistent that, oh, well, I have to be the arbiter of all bullshit and I have to... No, your God will just send these people to hell if that's how it is. But somehow I don't think your God gives a shit that people are fucking in gay bars right now. I don't think your God cares at all. If your God actually cared, then you wouldn't exist.
They think it's okay to get sex change operations.
Because it is. People live for like hundreds of years, right? Uncomfortable in their own bodies, uncomfortable with who they were with, uncomfortable with how they lived their lives because of pricks like you. And you want people to have to go back to that because you don't like it. I want to reiterate that. This is how selfish this prick is. He wants kids to suffer, he wants paedophiles to be able to do whatever the fuck they want, and he wants people to be miserable from birth to death, their entire lives, millions of people, because he doesn't like aspects of their existence. And because of that, millions of people would have to suffer if he got his way. And he wonders why no one respects him. You're a selfish moron.
Surgeries.
Oh, surgery. Right, I thought you meant those transgender potions from that one anime. Which the idea of transgender potions is brilliant to me. I really wish that was a thing, because I would totally just slip that in somebody's drink as a prank. That'd be fucking hilarious. You go to the bathroom, you come back, you take a sit at the table, you have a sip of your brew, and oh shit, I have tits now. That'd be fucking hilarious. Someone spikes the punch and everyone grows tits or a dick. Oh, that would be amazing. But yeah, I'm sorry, thanks for clarifying that, Dustin. I thought you meant spells and potions. Thank you for establishing that it's transgender surgery. And you forgot hormone therapy, but surgery, yeah. Thanks, Dustin. What would we do without you, apart from literally carry on exactly as we were?
They think babies are born LGBTQ+.
I mean, you believe that babies are born sinful, so I don't know what the fuck you're complaining about. But the thing is, babies are, or at least that is a lot of, that is an idea that a lot of people have, that it's not just something you develop or learn, it is just something that you have from a very young age. And a lot of people who are gay, not all of them, but a lot of them, say the first time that they were attracted to a guy was when they were a kid, or in some capacity. The first time they had a crush, or the first time they just found themselves attracted to somebody, they were a kid or were a young teenager. I know a lot of people who've said that, and I've read a lot of things where people talk about coming out and stuff, and they say stuff like that because honestly, it doesn't surprise me. It is how your brain's wired. It's like neurodiversity. You can't develop it, no matter what idiots say. There's no magic spell for it. It just is there from the beginning.
And they think LGBTQ plus animals and sea creatures exist.
Because they do. Have you not seen those two gay lions? There's two dude lions with manes who spend their entire lives together. Hell, there was a dolphin that apparently wanted to have sex with a scientist, but I don't know. I think that was just wishful thinking on the scientist's part. But the thing is, like, yeah, animals are capable of being different sexually. It is well documented at this point. There are gay dogs. There are gay various animals. I was trying to think of the other ones, but the lions and the dog, I know of other ones, but not off the top of my head. But yeah, there are a lot of animals that have turned out to be gay. And in all honesty, that isn't completely crazy. Because we are very similar to a lot of animals. We are very similar to chimps. Dogs can actually be racist, believe it or not. If a dog is abused by a certain demographic of people, then that dog can actually become hostile towards that demographic of people. And I know this because I actually stayed with a family whose dog was raised by like Indian people, like South Asian people, and she was horribly abused by them. And every time she saw someone of that ethnicity on television, she would freak out. She'd start barking like an intruder had come in the room. And she always saw her abusers whenever she looked at someone of that ethnicity. And apparently that's not unique. That I know somebody else who said that they have the same thing with their dog and Hispanics. So yeah, dogs can develop a disliking for certain demographics of people. And they can also develop other things. They are quite psychologically complex, so the idea that they can have different sexualities isn't crazy to me. Hell, I don't know if this means anything, but I knew a dog who was a boy, it was male, and it used to do a lot of things the way a girl dog would. Like, it used to squat when it peed and stuff like that. And for a long time, my mum was like, that dog was misgendered. It must be a girl because the way it does everything, it really does it like a girl. And then it turned out that, no, the dog just did things in a girly way. Which, I don't really get how that works, but, you know, that's not unlike some of the stuff that you get upset about. And yet this dog doesn't even know it's doing it, it just does it. So yeah, Dustin, you're an idiot, basically. Yeah, this video was stupid, Dustin. Thanks for saying it for me. So that was his complete and utter lack of awareness. So the next one we're going to do is... I just love these fucking suggested videos. I watched a few Key of Awesomes the other day, and now these are all my suggesteds. Dustin's gonna love that, I know it. He's gonna love this song, by the way. This song's about a guy who fucks his truck. So Dustin will be all over that. So... oh, there we go. Sorry, I didn't want to steal your dislike. I want you to get some, you know, what do you call it from it? So anyway, here are more facts, in quotations, as to why the LGBTQ plus community are so stupid. Okay. By the way, I love that little Crash figurine. I don't know where that came from, but that is pretty fucking bitchin'. I like it. Alright, let's start.
Just wanted to pop on here and explain some more facts of why the LGBTQ plus people are so stupid.
Nothing you've said so far has really been a fact. They've just all been your opinion. Like, even if I'm being completely objective, even if I agreed with you, you've not said they're a fact. You've not said any facts. You've just literally said, people can't do this, and people are this, and people are... That's not fact. That's just a blanket statement based on your opinion. If you just said, my opinion on this subject, it would probably make the video a bit more redeemable. But this is actually just misinformation. But anyway, Dustin, what bullshit have you got for me this time?
Community are so stupid.
So
They think it's
stupid.
okay to compete in men and women's sports.
I mean, yes, there is a grey area on this, because obviously people who transition, like biologically speaking, may have advantages in some things. Not going to deny that, and I'm not going to deny either that there are several things, not just in this, but also in the Paralympics. When there's a guy with those blades for feet who ran in the thing, there was an argument that his blades gave him an unfair advantage. And yes, I do agree that it kind of does risk the fairness of the competition if you have a trans woman with the sissies. But the thing is, I don't think you care about the sportsmanship side of it. I don't think you care about the unfair advantages or whatever. Because as well, like, I think of it as part of it is, yes, it's unfair to the other people, but also it's unfair to this person, because by telling them, no, you can't compete because of your gender, then you're basically just taking away their entire dream from them just because of, what they are, which is basically your way of thinking, which is why people are so hesitant to do anything, because there's no good answer. People like you don't help us reach one. But yeah, you don't care about that. All you want is just for people to miss out because you don't agree with the way they live, so fuck off.
When clearly it's not.
It's not, because I fucking said so, and I might get so upset that I poop myself, so don't disagree with me. Oh yeah, you're not allowed to disagree with Dustin. It's bad.
They think it's okay for men who pretend to be women competing in.
I mean, for a while I thought you were a woman pretending to be a man, but okay. They're not pretending to be women, Dustin. Like, I know that you're really stupid and you don't get this, but they don't pretend to be women. That's drag queens you're thinking of, and those kinds of people. I know there's like several things like drag queens, but that's mostly drag queens you're thinking of. These are actually people who have changed their gender, which you or nobody else can convince me that is what people are trying to dress it as at the moment, which is, it's a mental health problem because people wanted to change their gender and cut bits off. Why would you want to do that? That's like completely missing the point. But anyway, speaking of missing the point, Dustin, these people aren't pretending to be anything. They are mentally something other than what they were born as, and they have sought to correct that. And whether you understand it or not, whether you agree with that or not, their decision to act on it or not, it really doesn't fucking make a difference. Because whether or not my mates who are trans get the surgery and the hormone therapy, you are still going to be a 30-year-old jobless loser who sits in his bedroom all day crying because gay guys are fucking in bathrooms and getting more action in an afternoon than you'll get in your entire life. Because again, that's what this is about. If you can't beat them, then basically deprive them of anything that makes life enjoyable.
Women's sports, and you think it's okay for women who pretend to be men to compete in men's sports.
I mean, women pretending in quotations to be men or transitioning in sports would be at a major disadvantage in a men's competition. if you're biologically female and have, I mean, obviously, no matter how much transitioning you have, no matter what surgery you have or whatever, your skeleton and your muscle mass and all that is still that of the gender you were born as. So, athletically speaking, you would be at a disadvantage. So, I don't know why you have that big of a problem with that, other than, oh yes, the idea of that trans woman being able to actually, or that trans guy actually being able to compete as the gender that they're comfortable with, that is the bit that keeps you in a fucking flop sweat at night. Because you're a dick.
LGBTQ plus people do not belong in sports.
You don't belong in sports because you're a fucking chunky bastard. You don't belong on the fucking internet, Dustin, because you can't handle the slightest bit of criticism, and you also can't handle anything because you're a fucking arsehole. But yeah, who the fuck are you to decide who belongs in sports or not? I'm personally of the opinion that if you are talented, you should go for whatever fucking field you want. Because quite frankly, whatever field that is will only benefit where more people and more talent are able to join it.
Any kind. And they don't belong in fake wrestling companies either.
What, like the WWE? I mean, why not in wrestling? Because wrestling is basically just pantomime. Like, why not have... I mean, you had Goldust and Stardust. Stardust is great. But, yeah, you had Goldust, you had people like that. What? Are you saying that he should never have been a thing? I mean, if it's all make-believe anyway, what the fuck does it matter who competes? But overall, why the hell does it matter so long as there isn't an actual, like, physical advantage brought from it? Who competes in what and why? Like, why is it any business of yours? You probably don't even watch sports, because, honestly, you just strike me as the kind of man who, when he's not on the internet, just stares at that beige wall of yours all day.
Just want to make a part 2 of the, or more like a follow.
You've established this. You've wasted so much of this 2 minutes and 53 seconds. It's not even funny.
Follow up to the previous video that I did about
Why? You're an idiot.
why the LGBTQ plus community are so stupid.
Oh, hey guys, I just wanted to let you know, this is a reaction video to Dustin's shit videos. Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that that's what you're watching right now. How long are we into it? 40 minutes in? Yeah, that's what we're watching is Dustin Nunn and his shit videos. Just wanted to let you guys know that.
Oh, and
Who's all Ann?
one more thing. If they
Oh, and another thing.
hit on you, you turn them down, and they'll think you hate them.
Not always. Also, that's not exclusive to gay people, by the way. The straight guys do that a lot. Like, a lot.
But you don't. You're just saying, I'm not LGBTQ plus, I'm straight. I like straight. Like, for example, let's say...
I want to know what brought this on. Is this based on an actual experience of him trying to chase up another dude? I actually want to know. Like, I actually want to know, why the fuck is he bringing this up, and why is he talking about it like he's clearly not citing a source or citing a story, so he's just acting like this happens a lot when it clearly fucking doesn't. I've been hit on by one gay guy in my fucking life, and it was Lance. Why the fuck was it Lance? Like, that's the worst part. Yeah. But, here's the other thing as well, right? One question I want to ask that I meant to ask and I completely forgot. Dustin, you're against the idea of a kid being raised by two people of the same sex who are in a relationship, right? My question is, if someone raises their kid living with someone of the same sex, but they are not in a relationship, like they're like Joey and Chandler from Friends. I don't know why I'm always using Friends as an example, but it's just on my mind today. If that was the case, would you accept that? And if you accept that, why does them being in a relationship make any difference? That's what I want to ask. I don't know if he'll ever fucking bother, but it's worth a shot.
You're a lady and you get hit on by a lesbian woman. And she tries to ask you out on a lesbian date, and you...
A lesbian date. Those are very different from other dates, by the way. There's a whole textbook you gotta read on it before you go on a lesbian date. You know what? I know a lot of straight women who would probably prefer being hit on by another woman than by you. Just saying.
You try and tell her that you're straight and you like men.
And then they just burst out laughing and go, "Sure, mate, tell us another one." Also, it probably would help if your little heart-shaped necklace didn't open up and have Mitch's picture inside it when you said that.
Or if you're a guy and some gay guy, some queer guy asks you out, you tell him that
You can do it. Come on.
you're not
Come on.
gay, you're straight, and you like straight women. Well...
And again, they laugh in your face and go, "Mate, I wasn't born yesterday. Okay, my gaydar is better than most. You like it in the ass, my friend. You like it in the ass." And Dustin's like, "No!" And then he runs away and has a little cry in the bathroom whilst listening to some guys getting pounded in the stall next to him.
Well, the LGBTQ plus people don't like it when you turn them down, and they
A bit like you.
won't get a clue.
A bit like you.
That's another one of the facts.
Facts. You know, it's kind of funny because a lot of gay people are probably quite used to rejection. Given that, you know, I'm pretty sure that you're going to have a hard... Well, you're not going to have, but you are going to have a hard time sometimes figuring out if somebody's going to be into you or not. Because honestly, gay people are kind of a minority. So if you see another guy who you like and you're gay, you're going to have to figure out or take the chance that he's interested in you. That sounds difficult, admittedly.
Me, I'm straight and I like straight ladies only.
Sure.
And like I said in my past video, the LGBTQ plus people are pedophiles.
Just like your mate Ronnie, but you don't give a shit about that, do you? Is Ronnie in the comments? No, he's not. Facts. You know, I think Dustin is self-sexual. I think he just only enjoys tasting and blowing into his own dick. Because literally everything that he ever creates just exists to fillet his ego. Seriously, his comic book is just full of characters who all fucking just blow him all the time. It's actually pathetic.
They prey on innocent children.
You don't care about that. You have a lot of friends that do that shit, and you don't care. You and Mitch both take pats on the back from Ronnie and Cranium, two people who have supported pedophilia in the past, supported actual pedophiles, and you don't care. Because they blow you, so you don't care where else their mouth has been. And you don't care about it when it's in the church, and you don't care about it anywhere but when it's coming from people you don't like. and you make that blanket statement, like, oh, they're all pedophiles, adding to a stigma, which is completely fucking unjustified, and is also fucking stupid. And you do it because you just cannot stand the idea that people are blossoming out there whilst you're just sat there in that pathetic beige bedroom talking into a webcam like you've done every day for 13 years, whilst the entire fucking planet has gone by. Time has moved. You know when you started doing this dumb shit? I was 14. And in the time that you've done this shit, I've gone through high school, college, started university but dropped out because of severe depression. I worked in a job for 6 years and quit. I met the love of my life. I've lived in 3 houses, moved out of my parents' house, moved into a small cottage, and then got basically kicked out of the small cottage because they wanted to sell the small cottage. And basically, I've lived my entire life. What have you done since 2009 or whatever it was when you started doing this shit? Making crap vlogs that nobody watches other than to just say, well, that's shit, and move on. Or in my case, basically just tear everything you say to shreds. You're, 30 whatever, and you sit there in your little beige room, ranting about gay people who are living it up, whilst you are hoping to God that one of your pedo-loving friends notices that you've uploaded today and gives you a like and says that you are based. And that's your existence, and that's why you're so bitter, because the very fucking thought that you could have been anything, you could have done anything, but you ended up as this, haunts you. You are so fucking haunted at night by it. So anyway, how are you going to finish this turd off, Dustin?
Anyway, this doesn't sign off.
Okay. Okay. So. Oh shit. So overall, I think I finished with what I wanted to say. That you are Dustin, are a sad little pathetic man. And it's quite clear to me that your disliking of the LGBTQ plus community is nothing to do with your religion. You don't give a shit about your religion. You don't give a shit about the people and the things that you apparently are claiming are put under duress because of this shit. No. You know what you care about? You. And how it affects you. Not in a real sense, but just in your mind. You only think about how it hurts your little fifis. And that is why everybody has to fucking suffer. Because you're a bellend.
My name is Professor Curious, and I'll be doing a video on you.